Banks, Certified Financial Planning Professional and Small Business Coach based here in Austin, Texas. Welcome back to your Financial Therapy for the Week. Thanks as always for tuning in. Before we get started, I need to ask you if you've been enjoying the show to like, subscribe, and give us a review wherever you're listening or watching. I'd really appreciate that. So, today we are talking about the 5 things that the best financial advisors will do for you. The 5 things that the best financial advisors will do for you. In a lot of our episodes, I talk about getting help from a professional, making sure that you are asking for support when you need it, especially when you can't agree with your financial partner, or you just don't know what you don't know or what you should be doing next. Financial advisors are also really great for helping you walk through and walk out what your priorities actually are with your finances, and I think can give you a bit more peace of mind. But that said, there are great financial advisors, and there are ones that you literally pay to do not much with your money. Probably not even as well with your money as you could do with your money, because it's something that you actually care about and that you have a vested interest in. So I wanted to give you guys some tips, some things to look for from a financial advisor that would really signal that that is a quality person that you could potentially rely on for financial advice. So the first thing is they tell you what their qualifications, certifications, experience, they tell you what that is. They also want to let you know that they serve your particular type of clientele. So let's say you're a young professional, they should have some young professionals in the portfolio of management. They should let you know what kinds of certifications they have available, what kind of licenses that they're operating under. And then also be sure to ask about the experience that they have as far as like just the years of experience that they've had working with clients. One thing that happens a lot in financial markets is things go up, things go down. If you've been around for a long time and you're able to see some of those cycles happen, it just naturally is going to give you more confidence in guiding clients than if you have only been doing it for a couple of years. And then further, certifications, qualifications like being a certified financial planning professional, being a CPA, being a CFT, those types of things, certified financial therapist, those types of things are going to help a person advise you in the best ways. And if you're looking for something in particular, like let's say you're looking for an estate plan or you're looking for tax specific help, it's important that you understand what qualifications they have in each of those disciplines as well. There are 7 or 8, depending on how you count them, types of areas that a financial planner or advisor might help you with. Investments is one of those areas. So if you think about all of the other aspects of your financial life, like real estate, employment benefits, health insurance, those types of things, umbrella insurances, as I mentioned, tax planning, estate planning, those types of things are specializations where a financial advisor might focus themselves. And so asking what specializations they have is important too. So the first one is they tell you what their qualifications, their certifications, their specializations, their experience looks like, and they give you an idea of what their clientele looks like. So the second thing is they operate as fiduciaries. They have your best interest in mind, and they put your best interest ahead of their own. And so just Google the term fiduciary. Essentially, they are making decisions that they would make for themselves and their own finances were they to be in your similar situation. So they're doing their best work on your behalf. This can always be tricky, though, because there are inevitably conflicts of interest. If that financial advisor works for an employer, that is an inherent conflict of interest, even if the fee structure is a little bit is made to be fair and in your favor, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But even if they're working for an employer, you have to ask the question, are there things that you are supposed to be doing on behalf of your employer that might conflict with my best interest as your financial planning client? So the best financial advisors operate as fiduciaries, putting your best interest ahead of their own. The third thing is they are transparent about fees. They are either working on a percentage of assets, maybe they're working on a flat fee, or there's some sort of a hybrid model. But you do have to be really, really careful about where they're getting paid. How are they getting paid? It is not uncommon for financial advisors, especially wealth managers, to take a percentage of your assets under management as their fee. 1% is a very typical amount, very typical number. But if you are not investigating that and understanding what that means and what it is actually going to get you for their services, that's not a good move. And if they are not upfront and open about what their fees are and what their fees actually get you as a client, how many meetings a month, how many meetings a quarter, how many meetings a year, can you check in anytime, and how comprehensive is the financial plan that they'll develop for you, or is it just that they are managing your assets? Are they doing any sort of specific engagement? So are they creating a will? Are they creating an estate plan? So understanding exactly what you'll pay and what you'll be paying for is really important. And so the best financial advisors are going to be really upfront and transparent about the fees and what they pay for. So the fourth thing is they ask you a lot of questions. The best financial advisors will ask a lot of questions about all aspects of your life to develop a tailored and holistic approach to your finances. So financial planning is never ever a one-size-fits-all type of situation. You typically are going to shift and change your priorities throughout your lifetime. And so it's important that a financial advisor asks you where you're at in life and what is important to you and what kinds of things cause you anxiety or are pain points in your financial life versus the things that cause you joy and bring happiness to your life and to your lifestyle. So a financial advisor, the best ones, are going to ask you a lot of questions so that they can help you develop a plan that's really tailored to who you are as a person and what you value in life. And then the fifth and final thing is the best financial advisors take your stage in life and your risk tolerance into account in order to help you meet your financial obligations and goals. What works early on may not be comfortable or prudent closer to retirement or after a divorce. So for instance, if you are really in aggressively held positions in the stock market and you have just gone through an intense layoff at your work, you might want to shift some of your assets to better approach your next stage in life. If you have just gotten divorced or you are approaching retirement, those also could shift how you not only allocate your assets or your investments, but also what investments you actually hold. You might need to sell property. You might need to shift its purpose and start renting it out. none of those things are good things or bad things necessarily, but they all shift and change based on where you are in your life cycle. And so the best financial advisors are going to know where you're at in your life cycle in order to give you the best advice for what you're dealing with at the time. And the second part of that is they do take your stage in life, but then also your risk tolerance overall into account. Some people are just less interested in taking a lot of financial risk. They might have other obligations, like maybe they have kids, young children that might have more emergencies than it may be typical. They might have health concerns, health needs that are taking up some of their resources, and they might need to be less aggressive in their investment or their spending choices. And that could be anything from buying a new home to buying a riskier stock. At some points, sometimes you might need to take a step back and determine whether or not that is actually the best risk to be taking for you at that time in your life, or the best investment to be making at that time in your life versus some other time in your life. And you might just be in general a less of a risk taker, and that's okay too. A lot of times people are more conservative than I might be personally, but it's my job as a financial coach and a financial advisor to listen to their comfort level and the way that they would like things to operate in order to approach the situation. So as a fiduciary, operating as a fiduciary myself, for my clients, I'm going to listen to what they are comfortable with, and then I'm going to develop the plan appropriately. So I hope this helps. If you are looking for someone to help you out with your financial management, if you just need help with budgeting or with talking through your priorities, you can reach out to a financial advisor and be sure that they have these qualities. First, that they tell you their qualifications, their certifications and experience. They tell you what they specialize in. Second, that they operate as fiduciaries, that they put your best interests ahead of their own. Third, that they're transparent about their fees. Fourth, that they ask a lot of questions to get to know you and all aspects of your life. And finally, number 5, that they take your stage in life and your risk tolerance into account in order to help you meet your financial obligations and goals, because what works early on or what works for one person may not be comfortable or the most prudent choice for you. So thanks so much for listening. Hope you have a good rest of your week.